¿Qué voló un tiburón?
From Cafeteria Film Studios in Miami, Florida, Fresher Fresh presents Que Bola, where we talk to various movers and hustlers in South Florida who are popping off and succeeding, and in the process, how they're influencing the 305 culture. My name is Darwin Figueroa, and I am your host. I hope you enjoy this, and let's get into it, all right? Listo. Hey everybody, I hope everybody's doing good and staying blessed, all right? In this episode of Que Bola, we sat down with a very talented film director, creative director, Giancarlo Loffredo. He's from Miami-Dade County, born and raised deep down south, holla at your boy. And he is very, very intelligent individual who has very cool points of views and perspectives. We touch certain topics such as what's his inspiration, where he's currently trying to get to, what kind of people he's trying to work with and influence. Unfortunately, the loss of Little Peep.
None of my exes is over Lil Peep. Nobody flexing as much as I be.
FAT Nick, the rising star, straight out of West Kendall. POUYA as well, out of West Kendall. And just a whole lot of other cool things like Fantasia Film Festival, etc., etc. This was a dope-ass talk with a really cool-ass person. I hope you guys enjoy this one. I really fucking loved it. And yeah, I hope you guys love it too. All right? Let's get into it. All right, so we are not in the studio. This is a special episode of Que Bola in the crib, actually. Thankfully, I'm so grateful that Mr. Giancarlo Loffredo has opened up his crib to us so we could chop it up about what's popping in his world and how he's influencing South Florida and the such. So, yeah, so introduce yourself, Gian.
What up, man? I'm Giancarlo. I'm from Miami. I was raised down here all my life. Originally from, like, down south, the area from Kendall, South Miami, all those areas and shit around there. That's where I grew up around.
So, what high school did you go to?
I went to Varela, bro.
When I was in high school, there was no Varela. I went to South Ridge. I graduated from the Ridge, and back then...
What year?
01.
01?
Yeah.
Shit.
That was good. And did you go to any universities or anything like that after that?
I went to Miami-Dade for a little bit and then dropped out to just,
All right.
sell drugs and, like, just fucking
And start
make
your
money
shit.
and start
Yeah.
my shit, start my
Yeah.
career.
That's what's up.
I was, like, stuck in class. I was like, yo, fuck this. I could already be doing this.
So after you decided that you wanted to, like, start off in your ventures, what was the first thing that was, like, the catalyst that said, yo, I gotta, like, stop eating shit here and go do... Was there any one particular thing that set you off?
Repetition, dude. I was tired of waking up and doing the same shit every day. And then, like, all my friends started, going different paths and, and shit like that. And I was like, yo, do I really want to do that?
Where were you working at the time?
I was just straight up just slanging, dude.
Oh, okay.
Straight up, like, real talk.
So you were just trapping?
Yeah, I was just straight up trapping for years ever since I was legit. And I got tired of it, dude. I was like, yo, all these people start snitching on each other and shit. And my best friend got killed. And that's what opened my eyes. I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Fuck this shit.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna be next.
And what made you think that it was gonna be through video? Was that one thing that you automatically gravitated to?
No, I first started throwing hip hop shows when I was when I first started like doing shit. Before I even started doing videos, I used to throw these hip hop shows back in the day called Fresh.
Okay.
And the whole point of the hip hop show was to have artists that never performed in Miami or never even touched the stage.
Okay.
To come perform at the show.
I get you.
So like I did the first Little B show.
All right.
The first Action Bronson show ever.
Okay.
And like a whole bunch of I got Cormega and AZ to rap next to each other.
Damn, that's what's up.
Yeah, like his weird ass shows. Ghost Rider fucking did one thing when he was rapping for us, Saheed, all these like underground rappers from that era. Because back in the day it was like not really that much of a big scene out here.
All right, so you were trying to like grow the South Florida hip hop scene, basically.
Yeah.
And you were trying to like capitalize on that.
Yeah, and then that's when I was like, I want to do videos all my life and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to stop like throwing hip hop shows because it started kind of like just getting in the way for like me being an artistic person. People started being like, yo, you're booking for a show, let's do a video too. And I really don't want to do a video for a motherfucker. I just want to just booking for something.
Yeah.
So I started just like, going like back and forth, and I was like, yo, I'm tired of doing shows. Fuck this.
All right. So then you decided after the shows that I'm going to go straight for the videos.
Yeah. I started working with a lot of people, started working on sets. I worked with Nipsey Hussle when he first started.
Okay.
Started doing shit with a whole bunch of different people. I did one video with him. I started working with artists from South Florida, like Ghost Rider when he first started.
Yeah.
And like people like Saheed, Serum, like real underground rappers that like that were, during that time didn't have a lot of recognition or a platform to even perform at. So I was like, yo, just come rock my shows, and we started like a thing.
And when you started doing that, how did you just do it like guerrilla style, like a lo macho, or did you did you have some classes or something to direct you on how to like do pre-production and post-production, all that stuff, or you were just like straight up just doing guerrilla shit? You know,
I did guerrilla shit all my life. I tried to just figure it out. I did YouTube tutorials. You know, I had people next to me that already knew their cameras, and they taught me a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was just blessed to have people like, you know, that around me just to like help me guide the way and shit, you know?
That's what's good. Yeah, that's something that it's not emphasized, like how it is that certain people get into the industry and how they get into the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always like, oh, I started and then boom, overnight success. No, it's like, yo, there's a grind.
No, yeah, I had like a backdoor. I had different grinds, you know?
Yeah, like it's hard. It's a hustle. You got to learn. Like, there's certain ways that they do it, you know, through like educational systems, how they teach you how to do.
No doubt. I went to Miami-Dade for like 2 semesters.
So you feel that in those 2 semesters, you captured a lot of what it is that how to get shit down.
Yeah, like like a lot of the classes were bullshit and got me mad. But the only class I really paid attention that taught me the most was like storytelling and like screenwriting, how to break down stories and shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
That's the class I was like, yo, I took like 3 classes. I went to like Miami-Dade for a year. Mm-hmm. I took like the 3 classes and I was like, you know what? This is all I really need to learn. Fuck this.
Storytelling.
Yeah,
because it's basically is all storytelling, though. At the end of the day, it's about entertaining somebody, giving them some kind of value. You know what I'm saying? And giving them a cool story, but you got to do it visually and you have to do it, you know, artistically when it comes to writing it, because it's very different when you think it up and when you put it on a paper, dog.
No, it's totally different.
It's totally different. Yo, the other day I was sitting at the crib, right? And I'm thinking about somebody made some kind of point and I'm like, yo, this is the dumbest shit ever. Like, you could make a skit on how this is so dumb and make it funny. And then I attempted to do that. And when I finished it, I was like, this is the worst shit ever. Ain't nobody ever gonna laugh at this. I'm like, this shit sounded way better in my head than it will ever be for real. Like, in that split second when creativity pops in your head, that shit just fucking, it looks so dope.
It's like on a verge of like craziness.
Yes.
You know, you kind of like, you know, you think you got something and then when you do it, you'll be like, oh shit, I'm just a madman.
Yeah.
Like, this shit did not work out.
At all.
Shit.
It didn't work out at all what I thought it was going to be. Like, is it that I don't have the skill to do it? Or is it just that?
I think it's like the 3 ways to like, you know, I think it's like you tell your story three times. Uh-huh. Once when you write it.
Yeah.
And then when you shoot it.
Okay.
And then when you edit it.
All right, yeah.
So, like, sometimes it's just like you're telling 3 different stories, or you're telling your story 3 different ways and how to dissect it, to the point that, you know, like, in the last end result, you're probably not gonna get what you want, but you get something that you didn't know you could get, you know? That's how a lot of my videos end up, you know? It's like sometimes it's like I shoot stuff and I'm like, you know, thinking like, yo, I'm shooting some dope shit, and I look at it, I'm like, yo, this shit's mad weird. Fuck.
Like, I thought it was gonna be so dope.
Yeah, and then when I edit it, and then I'm like, you know, I'm around people that be like, yo, do this, and I'm like, all right, shit's coming together. Now it's like a whole different video. Okay. Like, or even my movies too. Like, you know, I write it one way, and then when I shoot it and edit it, it's a whole different movie now.
Yeah.
Like, I even like throw my script away.
Sometimes you throw
away my script and be like, yo, all right, I know what I want now.
Okay. So you find yourself, or you find the story in the process of creating the story.
Yeah. Basically, it's kind of like, you know, it's like a living thing. Your story is kind of like a baby, you know?
Like a living creature, an entity unto itself.
Like a Tamagotchi.
Okay. And when you have a finished product, when do you know that's the shit that I wanted? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like a feeling. It's like a feeling in a way. Like, for me, it's like I do everything by feeling. Like, I think there's 2 ways to like kind of do it, and I try to mix both of them. One way to try to do it is like making any art piece to make logical sense. Okay. That looks dope. An example, like through rap, like Nas, like, you know, sometimes, or Biggie, like they rap like just dope. You know,
they just spit it.
You just spit it. I think that's called the Apollonian. Like, you know, a way to look at it is Apollonian or Dionysian. And when you spit it, yo, it's just the gameplay, the game words. I mean, the wordplay is fucking game. Yeah. Everything is tight. You're like, yo, this motherfucker knows how to rap. But then you don't really feel it. You be like, yo, it just sounds dope. But then you got people like Tupac and people like, you know, that are more Dionysian, that are more like, you know, you feel.
There's more of the energy.
Yeah, you feel like more of the energy. You know. And that's when you'd be like, you know, I'm more towards the energy side, more like just making something that looks cool and like stuff. And that's why I noticed like a lot of people would fuck with me the long way.
Yeah.
Instead of just hiring me for something quick. Because, you know, when I've worked with certain artists, I kind of just tell their story through like mad different visuals. Like, you know, like an example, Fat Nick.
Okay.
Like how broke his, like me and him sat down before he even started rapping. We broke down his whole career.
Okay.
And now he's in a fucking crazy place. And I told him, like, if you follow this steps by step, you're gonna become like something crazy, and it worked.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, dog. When it comes to your shooting, what is it that you like to shoot more? Like videos or short films? What is it that if it was like, let's say we're in Giancarlo's dictatorship world and he gets to do whatever the fuck he wants, what would you direct?
Directing life without cameras.
That's basically you're trying to be Fidel Castro, dog. What you talking about? Directing life without cameras.
Yeah, directing life without cameras.
I don't understand that.
Like
Explain that to me.
An example, like let's take the Fat Nick story.
Okay.
You know, like we had a whole, like, not a campaign, but a whole lifestyle that when we sat down, we talked about it. We were like, if we follow these methods and stuff like that to direct your life, you will be this person, and this is the product, and this is how we're gonna get this product, and just keep on rising. So it's kind of in a way like me and him sat down, we told him like, this is what we have to do in order to accomplish these things. An example would just be like, you know, Fat Nick always interacts with like his fans and stuff. Like, keep doing that, but also just put in like, you know, tweets that, you know, you're becoming like a princess, you're becoming something special, something bigger than what you are, you know. So and then from there is like, you know, even from like just viral campaigns that we come up with, we're like, yo, this is just like directing your life towards another path, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like in a way like that'll be like ideally, like I would love to be like getting hired for just
campaign directing,
like branding artists and directing like campaigns.
Yeah,
shit,
campaign
you know?
directing for like various people and various entities.
Yeah, it's basically like creative direction for like, you know, a whole career.
I could totally see you doing that because I think that's in your career path. That's something that you could totally do since you've learned the craft of managing cast, crew, directing, budgets, you know, all those things come into play in basically brand creation and campaign creation and entity creation. Basically, that's something that now that you explain it to me, now I understand what you were saying. When you said I want to control the world without cameras, I was like, damn. But you know what, I understand what you're saying now. That completely makes sense now. The whole world without cameras, that is basically what these people do behind the scenes, controlling and putting out different things in the sphere and different
like
brands.
right now, like Fat Nick, we made him into from a little fat kid that you thought he was like an Andy Milonakis kid.
Yeah.
And he transformed into like this real like artist where you're like, yo, this guy makes real good trap music.
Yeah.
And then he transformed into a princess. You feel me? So it's like just the transformation, character arcs, 3-act structures of your whole story. Like we just break it down and we were like, this is exactly what you have to like, you know, portray to be this person.
Yeah.
Which Fat Nick, he lives what he portrays.
Yeah.
You know, and it got to the point that it's like, it's real life or not. Now we're in the same line. Real life and not isn't the same thing. You know?
Yeah, it's on the
His
same
character
plane.
is a living character now. So it, like, it started working. It worked.
How do you feel that works within the psyche of a person? Like having to carry both those worlds and both those roles, because like behind the scenes, you're not that character, because behind the scenes, you're your person originally, but you still have aspects of that character in you because it's just like fused into you. And on the outside is the other thing. You can't show the vulnerable shit expose it to the world too much because they'll like eat you up. You know what I mean? So like, how does that dichotomy work within a person and within an artist, you know?
I think personally, it just, you forget who you are. And to the point that you're this new character and that's who you really are. You kind of transform your soul into this new person that is like, that's exactly how can you balance who you really are and who your artists are? For me, I just cook them up to the point that they're not who they were a couple years ago. You know,
so they're just continuously evolving and changing,
nonstop. You know, finding themselves. You know, they can't go back to square one. If we go back to square one, we're gonna be broke.
I feel you. Yeah.
So
You can't look back.
Can't look back. I can't separate the real him and the character him no more because the character him took over. There's no more real him. Real him was like a little broke fat kid, like fucking in a shitty ass bed. When I go visit him, like in fucking Kendall, like in a crappy ass fucking room, him and POUYA sharing the same beds on the floor. Like, you know, POUYA just got fucking working out, like cleaning toilets. Fat Nick is there selling dimes. and I'm there like, yo, we gotta work, you know. So we can't go back to that. That was the real him. That was like, you know, he's always gonna stay humble. That's his part of his character, no matter what. He's always gonna keep it real with people, and that's one quality that people like, you know, love about him, and that's one quality I love about him. You know, it's like he just keeps it real and keeps it humble with people. You know,
that's cool.
So it worked.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you. When I was growing up, it was all about Trick Daddy and shit. Like I was telling you earlier, I grew up down south in Ghouls, and Trick Daddy was basically dunk riders. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be, you know, and I used to see Trick Daddy all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be like, damn, Trick Daddy is a representation of South Florida. Outside of South Florida, but he was really like, that's why I've always fucked with him, is because he's always been like real true,
a real person,
a real true person. Like one time Trick Daddy came up to us at a gasoline station. His donk had broken down in Old Cutler. I used to live on 260. Yeah, his donk
by Franjo.
Yeah, by Franjo, by the baseball fields. And he came up to us and he was like, yo, can you help me out? And he was literally underneath his donk, and I'm like, yo, this dude, he doesn't give a fuck about his celebrity or about anything. He's just being himself.
Yeah, being himself.
And I always enjoyed how that was a portrayal of South Florida outside of South Florida. I don't think South Floridians really look at the way that the rest of the country views South Florida.
We kind of like just outcasts.
Yeah,
I always tell people, I'm like, yo, Miami's like a third world.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, it's not really America. I traveled all around the world and shit, and all across the United States, and I'll always be like, yo, I miss home. It's nuts.
It's not. People, when I travel as well, and the only way you get to express that, to understand that, is through travel. Because then you see how, like, yo, these motherfuckers, it's not even remotely close to the crazy shit that pops off in South Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the various, like, mixing cultures, all these fucking Russians and Sunny Isles, and all these fucking Colombians and Kendall, and all the Nicas, and Sweetwater, Venezuelans and Doral, you know what I'm saying?
Havana, everything.
Haiti. All that shit, the Haitians, the Bahamians, and
we learn to adapt with different cultures, and that's one thing that people do not expect from us when we travel out of the state. To be like, you know, like for Hispanic people everywhere else, they look at us like Mexicans.
Yes.
And I'm like, yo, mad love, because we have like mad Mexicans in our crew.
I feel you.
But at the same time, it's like, nah, we're just a diverse group.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I'm like Nick is like Greek, Julian, Cuban. I'm Ecuadorian. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like a melting pot of everything, and we take that mentality of somewhere else, and that's when you be like, yo, America's fucked up.
It is, and then that's when you realize that we're all Miamians. That we're like, when you go outside and you say, damn, Miamians are different because of the fact that we could fucks with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that you would be able to do outside of South Florida.
No,
everybody keeps up their boundaries. Everyone
has their boundaries for races and like, you know, or like classes and shit.
It's like, yo, it's fucking nuts, yo.
Yeah, it's weird. I noticed that when we're on tour and how people treat us when we're on tour. And that's sort of like, oh shit, they're treating us like pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, but we didn't grow up like that. We grew up like, you know, like everybody around here is just the same, you know. First generation Americans, you know what I'm saying? All of us is first generation. We're not expected to get fucking treated like by racists like in fucking another state or whatever the fuck.
No, I feel you, son. I've felt some really bad shit.
Really bad racism.
Racism in different places. North Carolina, South Carolina. There's like, yo, what the fuck's going on out here, dog?
Yeah, we just keep it moving. Every time we're in those states, we're like, it's not even stop at these stops.
Keep it going. Insane, dog. So when you do decide on putting together shit, how do you do your casting? Because I saw the last video that you did with Nick, and it was casted really awesome with the quinceañera video and all that. I was thinking, how did he coming up with all these people? How did you do that? Like,
there's different ways. Like, there's different. Every project for me is different. Like, an example, I produced Julian's Cockfight, and I did the casting for that. And that one was just really tapping into all my like old heads. And all my Cuban old friends and dads and shit like that. I'm like, yo, we gotta pack up a place with nothing but Spanish speakers, you know? And I cast it straight from the street. I like casting straight from like just regular people.
That's why it has that real original feel.
Yeah. So it's like when I was in Cali shooting that video, the agency were trying to like send us models to work with, and we're like, we don't want to work with models. We want to work with real people. Like, you know. And we're like, give me like don't give me a mariachi band, give me a banda. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Give me people, show me people that look regular. don't show me like models and shit like that, because you know what, it's just gonna just fuck up the screen.
Yeah, it takes away from the visual, man.
It takes away from the visual, also the feel, you know. See, all these people are just like small and the same size as Nick. You feel it more instead of these tall women everywhere, which would be cool as fuck. But at the same time, aesthetically, that wasn't like my choice. So yeah, for Ice Out, especially for that video, me and Julian sat down. We were like, all the pretty girls we did not cast, because we were like, we didn't need them. We needed like real, just like people that would belong in
like
a quinceañera.
Quinceañera.
Yeah, even people that look like they belong like quinceañera.
Yeah, that look like the straight up real quinceañera, son. That's insane, yo. I was watching this you had done, and you had told the host something about working in Telemundo and in the Telemundo studios and seeing Santeria things all over the studio set. And I was talking also with Julian. He was talking to me and about how he found Santeria shit underneath the, you know, he lives by the lake.
Yeah,
so like
all
by
the time.
Lake, he found a bunch of Santeria
I grew up by
shit.
lakes too. Let's just swim to you.
Yeah, there's
and
like,
they're like, don't touch the bag, don't open it.
Yeah.
Don't even look at it. Just keep it moving.
That's just. How do you feel about like living in a culture where Santeria is prevalent, because it is in South Florida? You know
I love it. It's great. I love it, dude. That's a part of our culture, and I love it. Can be respected. It also is like insightful in a way. Like people get in touch with their spiritualism down here more than other places, and that's why I was like, I love Miami. It's like that's just a part of culture, dude.
Yeah.
I dated girls that did Santeria, and I dated a lot of my friends have beads and stuff like that, and you know, it feels like. It's just a way to just get closer to your spiritual side, you know?
It's so crazy because growing up in it, it's just like nothing, you know what I'm saying? But like it's viewed so taboo outside of Miami and outside of like the Latin culture.
Yeah.
That is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Every time we talk about it, like, you know, like when we're on a tour with other people, they'll be like, what the fuck? I'm like, it's just real. You know what? And it's like, it's not a bad thing. Like, it's just a culture, dude. It's a religion. Like, you know, it's like people use, like, you know, pray to God for many things, you know what I'm saying? Right here, you gotta pray for, like, you know, different saints for whatever you, like, you know, heart desires, just to let yourself go more spiritually. And I give props to that, dude. Yeah. I was like, yo, that's just sick, you know?
That's what's up, yo. I like that. I like that approach to it. Because, yeah, it's something that's viewed so taboo. And every time I talk to people about it, like outside of South Florida, they're like, yo, that's such... Because they never experienced it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that if you never experience stuff, then obviously, you know, it's gonna be taboo, and it's gonna stay in those circles and in those corners. So are you still into boxing?
All day. My favorite fighter right now, Luis Ortiz from Miami.
Luis Ortiz is your favorite?
Heavyweight. That's my favorite fighter, probably one of my favorite fighters of all time. Just like that guy's fucking record is and crazy. His amateur record itself just speaks volumes, you know. He's like 360 some shit fights, 340 some shit fights. Yeah. You know, like all wins except for like a couple like 10 or 5 or some shit like that. Like this guy is a real boogeyman. You know how I know that shit? I ride Ubers all the time, right? Okay. And whenever I ride in an Uber, I see like, you know, like there's a Cuban dude and we start talking, and sometimes we just relate to boxing. And then they tell me, they'd be like, yo, I've been watching Luis Ortiz fight for like the last 15 years in Cuba. And I'm like, how old the fuck? This guy's fucking in the game for that long. He's like, yeah, I've been watching him fight like since I was like in fucking like my 20s and shit. And it's old dudes be telling me this shit. I'll be like, what the fuck? They'll be like, yo, that's when I noticed. I'm like, yo, Luis Ortiz is a legend. That guy's a fucking myth. He's a boogeyman. He's a real boogeyman. That's what's up, bro. His style is just real boxing, you know?
And what made you, what drew you to boxing?
When I was little, my dad used to just like just put boxing matches and watch Tyson fights and everything. And then, like, what drew me to boxing was, like, also, like, I had, like, bad drug problems, and just to escape, I always just wanted to survive another day to watch that boxing match. And I used to be like, yo, I'm going to just stay clean until I see this boxing match, because I don't want to fucking, like, OD and die before I fucking see what the fuck happens with this match. So, in a way, it kind of has helped me get over, like, drug addictions and helped me, like, kind of, like, stay focused and be, like, organized and be on top of my shit. Because a lot of these boxers are on top of their shit, you know?
That's so crazy that you were able to connect the boxing, people's struggles and the boxers going through their shit, and you were able to get something out of that and actually apply it into your life.
Yeah, dude. I remember I got into boxing again, trying to overcome like cocaine addiction, and I just stay there like in my room locked because it's like that shit fucks with your head. I don't want to talk to nobody coming down off like just blowing shit, like you know. And I'm like, yo, I don't want to talk to nobody. The only thing I had was the TV and shit. And I'm like, yo, what's good to watch right now? I just started watching boxing, and I started just reminiscing when I used to watch it when I was young, and I started getting back into it, and I was like, yo, this shit's fucking dope.
Yeah, it is a beautiful art.
Yeah, it's for me it's art, and it's an escape because it's like, and also it's like watching how every fighter fucking trains and fights. It's kind of like motivation for me to like do better, do something that I think was not possible. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker came from like nothing. Like Luis Ortiz story is nuts. That motherfucker fucking his daughter got diagnosed with like some crazy disease.
Yeah.
And he left. He's like, yo, fuck that. I have to get out of Cuba to find a cure for my daughter, or money, to make money for my daughter. So he left Cuba on the way to Mexico on a boat. He got to Mexico. He got kidnapped by the cartel.
What?
The cartel kidnapped his ass. They didn't know that they kidnapped King Kong. King Kong beat the fuck out of them cartel motherfuckers, escaped, crossed the border, wet foot, dry foot, bam. Started working as a bouncer, some weird jobs, and then you start picking up... people were like, yo, you gotta come to the gym and box. Start boxing, and now he's fucking up there,
Damn, that's a dope ass story, man.
Yeah, like that's just a crazy story.
I would love to see a documentary on that one.
That's King Kong, dog.
That's crazy, son.
Yeah, I'm working with their crew. Their crew is really nice, really cool. Cuban dudes and stuff doing their thing, So hopefully that story gets told into like a bigger audience and stuff,
That was what's up, man. I definitely fucking would love to see something like that put on the big screen and see and let Miami get some of that love, that really doesn't get shown too much,
Yeah, true.
So I was seeing that you like writing a lot, right? When you're writing for a campaign, like the one that you do with Fat Nick versus something that you're gonna write for yourself as a short story that you want to compose, is it the same playbook? Like, do you approach it in the same manner, or how is it?
Every project of mine is different.
Okay, so how do you have any certain approach that you always try to put together when you're gonna write something?
If I'm feeling it or not, like an approach that I will take is like, does this shit that I'm doing right now is gonna relate to my life? Like every video and every movie I shot has a little piece of my life in it. Like even music videos, like you can't really tell. Like sometimes you see POUYA, he's rocking, like back in the day he rocked a couple of my gear, like every little piece, like I put pieces of myself in every one of like my videos that I could be like, yo, like those 3 girls in that video are my ex-girlfriends are fighting for each other.
Yeah.
And they're fighting for like, POUYA and Nick in one of the videos, or that's one of my like I did a video with POUYA about this talking car.
Okay.
And like that was like the car I used to trap out of all the time.
Okay.
I use that shit for like everything, It's called the White Knight.
It's so crazy how you like develop a relationship with a car that you do so much work out of. Because
made that car famous because people on comments be like, whenever we use the car, be like, oh shit, it's that car from the other video.
The White Knight. You know what car I like? I like that. I like Julian's car that he put the Balenciaga on the side of that shit.
Yeah, we snapped with that, man. That shit was dope.
I was like, yo, that is classic, dog. That was such a fucking genius moment, man.
Yeah, we snapped with that, man.
That shit was sick. So when you approach the writing, this is really like each single time is a brand new baby that you're gonna
brand new,
out.
dude. Like, it's like I'm not trying to raise all my kids the same. It's like just a brand new like organism, brand new species. That's the way I look at it. Until I get into that commercial world, and I think the commercial world would just be like formulas I have to just stick with,
Oh, so you feel that since you're doing it as a freelancer, as an independent, then you have the liberty to do everything. So
yeah,
that's why you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna try everything.
That's why I don't work with a lot of people have been trying to hire me for like their like groups and like their creative teams and shit like that. To do commercial, all this stuff is just that. If I don't feel it, I'm not gonna do good. If I don't feel the project or nothing, I'm gonna do a shit job.
You gotta genuinely like it. Mm-hmm. That's so hard to come across people who are feeling like that, do that, because I mean it's like
everybody sells short for money.
Exactly, that's the thing. You're gonna go through some struggles doing that. Like sticking to your heart and your love. At the end, you're gonna fucking pop because you're gonna be working and loving what you do. But at the same time, at the beginning, it's gonna be a struggle. and people will sell themselves short because of that.
Yeah, true. And people will lose their aspirations to make content and be creative. People will just turn into like zombies and robots. And I'm like, you know, I have respect to people that balance both their sides out. But for me, it's like, I'd rather just keep it one-sided for right now. And so like, yeah, I want to jump into commercial one day, but I'm not rushing it anytime soon. I got different agendas right now.
Yeah, dog. That's a dope ass approach. I really like that, man. I like the way that you're thinking about it and how you're putting it, you know. Like you're putting the path out in a certain way, and you're following a certain structure, you know.
Like it's like the structure of organized free will.
Exactly. I was gonna say that it's like a chaotic structure, but it's still organized.
Yeah.
So it's like there's this framework on the outside, and there's this road map on it. But even throughout that, there's moments of craziness, and you know that's genuinely when the most brilliant shit happens. I was seeing how one time in a movie set, you were doing something with some blood and a little girl, and the little girl, like, you were doing a lot of takes, and she was supposed to get shot, and the little girl like broke during the take. Right? And I was thinking, like, you're trying to get that. You're trying to capture the authentic, most beautiful portrayal of it. But at the same time, you kind of got to be a dick to the people on the outside because they're viewing you like, how could you do that?
A lot of people called me evil. That was a movie I did with Borscht. I directed a movie called Cries in Spanish. Mm-hmm. And yeah, what happened was that, like, you know, you could kind of tell like she was acting like the scene was as this little girl sings a Selena song. And then she gets shot in the middle of the song. And then she keeps on trying to sing, like in shock. And everybody's like, oh shit, this little girl got shot, you know? And it was kind of like a surreal moment when she's trying to sing, because it kind of just brings you to the point like, yo, this is like something disturbing to watch. So in the scene, the girl, you know, when she got shot, you could tell she was faking it.
Yeah.
And then one thing about me is I then yelled cut.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, keep going. She sang the whole song, faking it with blood, and I said, run the song back in a way, you know, like, gotta do it again. Yeah. Right now, don't cut. And she had to just keep acting. And there's people in the crowd that were kind of like snickering and laughing because it was pretty weird, and people are not used to being on my sets like that. Yeah. So, and then this girl started really getting, little girl, you know, props to her, Gabby Ortiz, she's fucking dope. She started feeling uncomfortable, and I started feeling, I was one of the only people, because I'm focusing on my actors. Yeah. I started feeling she started getting uncomfortable, and I just keep rolling. And then she started really kind of like breaking down and panicking, you know, and that's how I could tell. Because she started looking, her eyes started looking around, and people were smiling at her. Yeah. In the crowd, you know, because the camera was facing at her. And people were smiling at her because it was just weird, you know? And then she started like just really panicking and like really fucking breaking down. And people were like, yo, come on, yo, cut, man. People were next to me like, yo, come on, dude's tapping me like, yo, cut. And I'm like, nah. And she started really panicking. And finally, like, I yelled, cut. And then she ran to the bathroom and like, she started crying. And I'm like, you know, I didn't see, people told me like, yo, she's in the bathroom crying, you know? I'm like, fuck, you know? Yeah. I went up to her, I'm like, yo, you did a great job. That was exactly what I want. You're the greatest. Like, you're awesome. And she killed it. She damn well.
It was a great performance. But that's the thing.
But then other people in the crowd started breaking down because it was too surreal. There was a lady named Amy Schultz, props to her. She's a great actress. Fucking brilliant. Can't wait to work with her. Lady, she broke down crying after yo cut. And then I was like, what the fuck just happened? And she stormed out of the set. And I was like, let me just follow her. Let me see what the fuck is happening. I followed her, and she just started crying outside. And then it was funny because she went outside of the bar we were shooting at, and there was traffic. Oh. So she came out of the bar, and there was blood all over her, and she was crying. And I came out like, yo, you all right? And all the cars were stuck in traffic, and looked over, and she just covered in blood and crying. And I was like,
that would have been awesome to capture that shit.
And I was like, yo, you all right? And she goes, I can't. And she's like, it's too real for me. She started telling me, she's like, it's too real for me. Like that felt too real. I felt like it was really happening. And I was like, oh shit, I just fucked the heads like up in these fucking, my set. Yeah. You know, and I was like, oh man. And then I did that to the other lady that she started crying. And then I think yo cut. And then she started like just practically crying for me to yo cut. And that's what I wanted.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like, you're trying to capture that because that's what's gonna really.
The whole movie is about being uncomfortable in a place that you're supposed to be comfortable.
Exactly. Like, you're trying to break the.
And as the viewers, you have to feel that tension, that vibe, you know, or whatever like comes out of like the action, you know, whatever like fucking like the aura, or the, you know.
I mean, if you have a wonderful actress who could give you the genuine performance on the first take, then it's kind of rare, you know. But for you to really feel it.
No, I think
like,
all the takes that gave me good takes, but I just wanted something different for like at least one take, you know, and that was like how I just.
That's another question I had. Like, how do you feel? You know, you're on set and people sometimes fucking are like, yo, how many takes is this motherfucker gonna do, dog? Like, how do you handle that?
I'm a shoot and go person.
Oh, okay.
I'm a shoot and go person. Like, that's one thing about me. I'm like, yo, I got so much shots. I got to keep it moving.
Oh, okay.
You know, I can't pay people overtime right now.
Yeah.
So
no, because I mean, I know I've been on sets and sometimes I see people take like 20 takes, 25 takes. I'm just like.
Oh yeah, I've been on those sets too, and I go to sleep.
I don't understand, but I understand that you're looking for something.
I don't know, dude. Like, for personally, like, I don't want to see 25 of the same takes.
Yeah,
you know?
then
like,
you have to edit that shit.
Annoying, dude. And I gotta edit that shit. I'm like, just figure it out. Figure it out. Your first couple. If that shit doesn't work after your 8th take, keep it moving. You know, if you have a good assistant director, the assistant director will talk you out of moving to the next shot or shooting it a different way, and be like, maybe this will work. That's having a good, like, you know, person around you, good team. You know, some people would be like, all right, another take, instead of like, you know, just coming around, having a team around you that's gonna be like, yo, maybe we could do it this way.
Yeah.
Or, you know, maybe we could shoot it this way, or maybe if, like, you know, we do something different.
That's true, man.
That's also just having, you know, good team and shit around you at the same time. So 25 takes a lot.
Yeah, no.
I would hate to go through 25 takes. I would just give up on my movie. I'd be like, yo, fuck this, dude. I'm not watching this shit no more. I'm tired of it.
I feel you, dog. I like that approach. Where can people see all the short films that you've put out, man, in
They're
the
all
festivals,
dropping this
man?
year. They've been touring. My films go on tour. Like,
I know, because they go festival
yeah,
hopping.
now they're all dropping this year.
All right.
Everything, like, because I'm working on Stripper Wars 2. I'm working on a couple other things, and finally, like, we're just.
Is
all
there a
dropping.
certain place that you're gonna put them? Or are you just gonna put them on all platforms?
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it on, like, just online for everybody. You know?
All right, that's what's up, man. Let me know, dog, so we can fucking put that shit out, because right now it's been film festivals only. # film festival only right now, dog.
That's just annoying. That's just annoying. It's like it kills the fun of, like, showing everybody, like, your work. It also is like, once it does film festivals.
How you feel about film festivals?
I think some of them are dope as fuck, and some of them are just like kind of like
what
Illuminati
are the dopest
shit, like, what? Like Illuminati shit.
What you mean Illuminati shit? Hold
like,
on, dog.
yeah, some of them are just dope, and some of them are just like, you know, the judges that judge your films are probably just all these white Illuminati.
Oh, okay, I feel you.
Or like, you know.
Nah, I understand what you're saying.
Like, it's something like that. I'm gonna be like just pissed off or something, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, yo, fuck, I didn't get accepted because, like, the panels just probably fucking hate me or something. Or the panel
they're not ready for what you're trying to show them.
Or whatever. Just people have favoritism and shit like that. You know, it's like,
just like anything else, there's politics in it.
Yeah, I'll
like
just love to drop all my stuff. Like I said, my films are just stuck in like some like limbo that I have to just drop them this year. You know.
Yeah, man, definitely, son, because people want to see all the work that you put out. I've been trying to see that Stripper Wars for a long ass time. I can't find that shit nowhere, dog.
Yeah, man, that's dropping this year too. Yeah, that's gonna be the promotion for Stripper Wars 2.
I seen that clip like 95 times. That trailer.
A beautiful film. I played in all these Oscar qualifying festivals with that film. I like toured around with that film. Got into like really prestigious Illuminati-esque film festivals.
That's a song.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, shout out to Aspen Film Festival and all those, like, you know, Chicago International.
Yeah.
Those were like cool, like, festivals. My favorite one is Fantasia.
Yeah.
Fantasia Film Festival also shows love to a lot of stuff.
What do you feel is like your favorite thing about your favorite film festivals? So what are the things that you feel make them good?
Like Fantasia, the fans are real.
Okay.
The fans there, like, really come up to you. You know, and like they talk about your film, or they do research before watching your film, and they're like, oh, this guy done this shit, or like, you know, the Q&As are like next level. You know, it's like the fans and the people and the following the film festivals have is, I guess, like what makes the film festival like something cool too. Because over here, like, they had like real hardcore like fans of like just crazy weird shit, and Fantasia's in Canada. Montreal. And there's like people come up to you after and talk to you and stuff like that. And like people will know about your stuff because everybody be talking about it. Like for Cockfight, we premiered Cockfight there, and people were in line to see it. And we asked people where were they there to see it. And here to see the Cockfight. I'm like, oh shit, dope. You know, it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what a lot of film festivals kind of lack, just that love, you know, like a love from like just, you know, some of them is just a look, you know, like some of them is just like you go there, you know, like, and you're just there just to be part of like some old bougie crowd.
I feel what you're saying.
You feel me? And then you're there and you just be like, all right, I'm supposed to rub shoulders with a fucking like producer or rub shoulders with some person distribute this shit. It's like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go home and get high or some shit.
I feel you.
Or chill somewhere, you know?
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Fuck that. It's like...
It's too much politics at that point.
Yeah, elitism and all that stuff, which is... You know what? Maybe I'll be part of it one day or not, but... I can't talk
right now,
shit.
you're in your own lane.
Right now, it's like, I'm not... That's something that's not in my, like... I even don't think about it.
Yeah. You're just gonna keep producing good content, good quality shit.
Yeah, you just keep working on shit, you know?
Yeah.
They pick it up, they pick it up. If they don't... Okay, and also I gotta sit there and submit all these cases and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, it's a lot of bureaucracy, which is funny because it shouldn't be so much bureaucracy because then it doesn't allow for the talent to percolate to the top. What it does is just like fucking holds everything down, and then you have the same repetitive bullshit that they put out. You know, like I've always wondered why don't they put like films like that Borscht and people like this put out, why isn't there like a streaming service for that? Because people want to see this shit. It's just that Hollywood or, you know, corporate interests don't really find it. Like Comcast is creating a shitload of content. They don't want to make shit about a little girl getting shot singing fucking Selena. You know, they don't want to see that shit. So like, where does that go? Where in our society does the things that people want to see that are genuine and raw, how can they access that continuously? You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that's nuts. You know, things like you do that people want to access and watch that. It's kind of like a various form of censorship, you know, like a slight form of censorship.
Yeah, it's like, especially when films take the film festival route, what happens is like, you know, it does like film festival routes for like a year and a half or something. And then like after a year and a half, I'm not the same person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're watching old shit. And then my next film does a film festival route, year and a half. I'm not the same person a year and a half later, 2 years later. I'm not really the same person, you know. I'm looking at old work like, oh shit, like, you know. When I drop Scribble Wars, I'm just be looking at it. This is like old work, Pride of Spanish, old work. You know, I'm in the form. Like right now, I'm not shooting new shit, so I can't wait. I'm not even taking it on like a film festival route, really. I'm just dropping platforms for it.
What's your biggest thing that's consuming the most energy for you right now?
There's several things. Right now, not even consuming energy. I'm just devoted into like FAT NICK's campaign.
Okay.
That's like all hands board, you know. He just got signed to a nice management deal, and there's more people that are looking at him. It's just more how like expand like horizons and stuff with him, you know. Right now it's like I work with him a lot and just writing stuff right now that's getting ready for the next Borscht. That's another thing I'm doing. I'm just writing content right now, and I'm about to just shoot. POUYA said he's gonna hook me up with a new camera.
Yeah, okay.
So he's like, I'm gonna be working real soon.
That's what's up, man. That's awesome, dog. I would love to see that shit, man.
Yeah, it's
it's awesome that you're from South Florida. You was born and raised down here, not in the beautiful side like they show like in the media, like South Beach, fucking Ferraris and and mansions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You were born in the real deal South Florida, the gritty side. You know where like basically I grew up. So and where you grew up, places like that really don't get spotlighted. Like you know down south, West Kendall, Hialeah. You know like
all family Hialeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like shout out to all these places that don't get too much love. You know what I'm saying? Like it's awesome that you.
There's a lot of stories. You gotta think about it like that way too. You know, it's like Little Haiti got their own thing going on with cool. You know, like their Horizon Film Festival, they have their own like Caribbean film festival stuff like that. You know, it's like, you know, you got like the Hialeah stories. You know, all these different type of like, you know, cultures out here. That's, you know, now it's starting to get some like light because of Moonlight. You know, that shit won. So people are like, yo, what other stories in Miami offer? But also all the tax and censorship fucked us over. You know, cut the tax. And shit like that on us.
That shit kind of killed us a little bit.
Yeah, it killed a lot of productions. But you know what? I'm gonna shoot all my shit here. Like, you know, all my movies and stuff are always gonna be made here.
That's what's good, man. That's awesome to fucking hear, yo. I love that you're sticking with South Florida and sticking with Miami, even though shit isn't always the fucking best right here, right now. You know what I'm saying? When people shoot in South Florida, like yourself, you guys incorporate the real fucking gritty side of it, and I love seeing that because it gets exposed to the rest of the country and the rest of the world. You know?
I guess like the beautiful side. What do I call it?
Yeah, it is.
The beautiful side of South Florida.
The beautiful side of South Florida, the real side of South Florida.
Yeah, because like all the other like the glamour stuff. I think that's just scary.
Yeah.
I think it's just like some hard shit. I'm like, shit ain't like that.
Yeah.
Fuck, y'all living in some weird fantasy and shit.
That's the thing, man. When
crazy.
you get around that, you know what? It's like it's a bubble. When you get around that, and the people who live in that bubble, they live in that bubble hard, son. They don't see nothing outside of that bubble, and you could totally see why, because they're like pampered to the extreme. Like they get whatever the fuck they want, whatever the fuck they want it, and like there's nobody says no to them. You know, it's like. When you're living in that world, you don't see everybody else's struggle. It's like, struggle? What struggle? Like, why doesn't everybody just wake up at 2:00 in the afternoon and fucking make $10,000 like I do? Like, cause I was endowed with a fucking with a beautiful trust fund. Like, bitch, what you talking about?
It's just it's like I grew up all around first generation Americans. Like,
yeah.
My mom was like same story with like everybody else's mom. Like we
Yeah.
all came from like from another country basically.
Yeah.
Like,
My family came from Colombia. I'm first generation Colombian.
Yeah, I'm first generation Ecuadorian.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody around me is like it's the same story.
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of felt like like everybody that's one type of like I felt like just more love than like just growing around like just I guess rich kids that are not really like been through shit. Because it's like that grandma vibe when you go into people's houses and shit like that, and like, it kind of just it's like settling for me. That's why it's like I'll never leave Florida.
Yeah.
It's like
I feel you.
I go to other places, it's weird. All tall people everywhere.
So what's your favorite Miami food?
Food from Miami?
Yeah. Like, what's your one thing that you love from here that when you travel that you always want, but you can't get, or you can't get really good?
Shit. That's like Mamey.
So un batido de Mamey?
Yeah, they don't got shit anywhere else, right?
No.
I always think about it. I always try to order at other places. But they don't got this shit.
So that's your favorite Miami food, un batido de Mamey.
Yeah,
that shit is a straight up South Florida shit, dog.
Yeah, it's like
Mamey is straight up Miami shit, bro. You ain't gonna find that shit
too
too
much
much.
anywhere else, really.
Yeah.
They come and think about it, Like,
Batido de Mamey.
Yeah, that's just like original. That's just fucking great.
Yeah.
Like you can't replicate that. I don't think like I never seen it like in LA.
Yeah.
Un
batido de Mamey.
I think I'm pretty sure I never seen it in LA.
That's what's up, yo. If you've probably seen it, it's probably been shitty.
Yeah,
it's not the real
I only
deal.
seen it in Miami,
Yeah.
And I only seen it like in hood spots and like corner spots, and I'm like, oh shit, all right.
That was crazy. And what's your craziest Miami story, dog? Like,
Man, that's too many. It's just like.
what's your most crazy Miami experience that you said, damn, that's some straight up like Miami shit. Only Miami shit.
Man, I just been through like, too much shit. Like,
all right, what's the funniest only in Miami shit?
Scar in my head and shit.
I feel you,
crazy
dog.
shit,
I feel you.
Too much fucking weird shit. But I guess the funniest, I don't know, man.
That you said, damn, that shit. Like you look at it and you're like, damn, that shit funny as fuck at the end of it after you go through it, Because that's the way you could only really find shit comedic is through in retrospect when you look at it from different perspectives,
Yeah, I think I look at everything funny, and that's my problem too. It's like any situation I'm in, I just be like, just clowning on it, serious.
So you use comedy as a shield.
Yeah, in a way. If people get mad around, like, dude, you're like a bully.
Yeah.
Just keep going. I'm like, damn. But yeah, I think everything. I don't know, man. I got too many weird Miami stories to the point that it's like just even like just hanging out with Julian, me and him have crazy stories,
Yeah, that
Getting in
motherfucker
fights in
got
bars
crazy
and
ass stories.
shit
Yeah.
like that, Like that motherfucker stories is mad crazy. Hanging out with him, I got stories with like Fat Nick eating at the craziest spots with Fat Nick, and
Yeah.
like, getting kicked out of places and shit.
What's the craziest? You guys got kicked out of a spot?
We kicked out like
How many spots have you guys gotten kicked out of when y'all on the road?
On the road, like, it's crazy. We take over IHOPs on the road.
Okay.
And we make that shit into like a playground.
All right.
Because we always be eating IHOP like at 4 a.m. We just take over like 20 motherfuckers in the back.
Yeah.
And that shit just turns into a crazy. Sometimes it turns into a food fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just be wild as fuck. Yeah.
Damn, that's a fun experience.
Is a crazy shit. You know, I love being on the road with them dudes. Dudes are funny as hell.
That's you know what? I've always wanted to see the behind the scenes on the road because like I've never had the experience of going on the road with anything.
Actually,
you know?
It's wild, man. I've been on POUYA's first tour, Southside Stug tour. That was like his first tour, and I went on that, and that was nuts. That shit was like, it was like some real all the shows were sold out, superstar shit. Like it was just like fucking wrecking hotel rooms, like just getting everything from the hotel room and throwing it out the balcony, you know, stuff like that. Like
reckless shit.
Yeah,
savage.
Reckless, just like fucking up everything, like fucking up green rooms, wilding the fuck out on stage, fucking fights on stage, like just like weird stories, man. Like being on the road with them is fucking like every day is gonna be like some weird shit.
When you're on the road with when you're on the road with an artist, is there a structure? Like who's the person who's the mom or the dad or the fucking or the group, you know what I'm saying? That keeps shit ticking.
We got a tour manager, the motherfucker that wakes us up all the time and say, yo, we gotta go.
That's his job.
Yeah, that's his job.
His job is like, yo, everybody, we gotta get the fuck up.
We gotta get the fuck up. We gotta go now. We gotta make it to the next show. Show, you know. The tour manager, we have a different tour. We have our dude Andrew. That guy's great. Fucking.
But outside of that, everybody is expected to conduct themselves.
We take care of each other.
However the fuck they want.
Yeah, we take care of each other though. You know, you see like somebody too much off anything,
turning up too much, you know,
or just even slumped and shit. We tell them to stay awake.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Anybody that slumps around us and shit off something, we're staying next to him and we're making sure that motherfucker's awake.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? We're not letting that motherfucker go to sleep. He took too much shit. All right, don't let him go to sleep. Don't let him nod off. You know what I'm saying? So we all look out. Like even me, like, you know, I try to go to sleep last and shit.
Yeah.
Like when we're in places and shit, because you know you just make sure everything's good. I have sleep problems and shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, make sure the fat nigga's like breathing all right. You know, like, he's not breathing. I wake him up like, dude, you're not breathing. And he's like, what? And I have to turn him over. And you know, I told fat nigga, you gotta sleep on your side from now on. You can't sleep on your back. You know, shit like that. You know.
Yeah. You should always sleep on your left side because it's really good for your digestion.
Yeah. Also, it's like. I hear it when he's not like when I'm there and he's not breathing and I'm like, yo, this nigga hasn't breathed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wake up and I have to shake him and move him. What the hell happened? And I'm like, dude, you're not breathing.
Yeah, no, maybe he has sleep apnea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, yo, you're not fucking breathing. He's like, what? He's like, wakes up and I'm like, yo, sleep on your side.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, people. That's crazy because it's my brother-in-law's. He's heavy, you know, like that.
Yeah.
And he has sleep apnea because of that. And he like when I used to like stay at his crib, he snores really fucking loud. So I would be in the guest bedroom.
Oh man, yo, every time on tour, that's like the fucking craziest shit.
Yeah.
I go to sleep with like earphones on, watching boxing. These motherfuckers be snoring
hard.
Like hard. I'm like, fuck, yo, he just reminded me because
Yeah.
I'm going on tour like in a month. And I'm being fucking snore in the snore room.
Yeah, you need to take something to put yourself at ease or like to put yourself outside of that situation to be able to get some rest.
Yeah, that's fucking. I gotta put something loud. Yeah, no, tour is dope, man. You know, you travel with good people around you. That's just gonna be fun, you know.
Yeah.
You travel with like, you know, you gotta have at least one home team person next to you.
That's what's
you know
up.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't be. Like, I personally think that you know you gotta have at least one person that's gonna have known you the longest on your tour. You know.
Yeah.
You know, that can be like always having your back. Sometimes, you know, labels will mix you up with all these other people or like, you know, different things and shit. And people won't have the right people around. And that's how people.
Like they don't have your best interests at heart.
Yeah. After Lil Peep died, that was when like I was like, fuck, man. Like if he had one of his day ones next to him,
Yeah.
shit wouldn't have happened to him, you know?
Yeah.
He was like, you know, there's people around him which is like really good, close to him and shit like that. But at the same time, it's like, I just feel like if you travel with like a childhood friend too, like, you know.
They're always gonna make sure that you that you are trying.
No, because they know you the most, so they know
Yeah.
they'll be like, yo, this motherfucker, you know, doesn't look right, or it doesn't, she's just going through something, you know. They'll be like, you know, they'll notice. And yeah, man, like that's when I know it's like, fuck, you always gotta travel with day one. Somebody around.
That's
yeah,
cool,
but Lil
though.
P passed away. That was when I was like, oh fuck, man, I cried. I was like, that was homie. That was a cool dude, man.
Yeah.
You know, I met him like before his face test and everything. And like a week before he died, he was chilling on my couch. And we were just kicking it. He came to, like, you know, visit with Nick, and we just hung out. He told me, like, every time we chill, we catch up, and I'm like, dude, you're turning into a big fucking movie star. I went to his show, and I told him, like, dude, I told him backstage when he performed in Miami, and I'm like, you almost cried during your set, bro. Like, you're gonna be an icon. He thought I was being sarcastic, because I'm just a sarcastic motherfucker. I'm like, yo, Pete, you're gonna be an icon. I told Nick that, too, that same night. I'm like, yo, Lil Pete's performance is amazing. He's gonna be an icon. Like, this guy's gonna be, like, straight up, like, a fucking god. And then a week later, he passed away. And I'm like, fuck, man. He was sitting on my couch, want to go eat ramen at Mamey. I took him to a brickle spot at Mamey.
That's what's up.
Yeah. We were eating there. It looked like a cool, like, weird anime squad, you know? It was like me. It was my girl was with me. She's like skinny and shit, and like, cool hair.
Yeah.
Fat Nick, big fat dude. You know. I remember right when we
all
got
tatted
there,
up and
all
shit.
tatted up. Right when we got there, I remember all the Asian ladies that worked at Mamey. They were like, "Oh my god," because they were like taking pictures of him because he was just fat.
Yeah.
They served him food first. All of us were still ordering food, and they already came with food for him. Me and people, all of us, you know, Julian was there.
So not because he was fat, Nick, just because he was fat.
Yeah. That shit was, and I told Nick because I sat next to him, I'm like, God, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm still ordering food. You're eating, you're already fucking yogyozas, you know? And it was a weird spot. It was Peep. It was Smoke Sack was there, the producer. Peep's girl, Julian. Nick, one of our boys, my girl. It was like we took over the whole center. We took over the whole restaurant. Shit was great. That shit was fun. That was my last time I chilled with Pete. I remember out the window, I would make sure I stayed by, like, you know, the street in the car and make sure Pete was safe when he got into his Uber. So, you know, I don't want to, like, leave Pete there in the middle of Brickell and be like, yo, he ain't leaving nobody. I waited for him in the car. He got in his car. I'm like, yo, peace, Pete. Love you, man. That was the last time I saw him. When he passed away, I just fucking, like, I found out Pete passed away when I was with Nick. Like, I remember I bought a Fireman Derek's pie, crack pie. Like, yo, Nick, I got you a gift. I'm gonna go over there. Yo, come through. Got to his crib. We're chilling. We're hanging out. You know, everything's good. I'm like, yo, we about to smoke one and crack this fucking pie. You know, and then, like, he got a call. Then he left the room. And then, like, I'm like, what the fuck's happening with Nick? I'm like, he's chilling away. I'm like, yo. And all of us were like, yo, he's crying. All of us boys, all of us were like, what the fuck's happening? And then I went out and he's like, you know, crying. He's like, nah, man, please tell me. Like, it's not true. He's just saying, like, he's being really fucking, like, you know, like, damn. Like, I knew something happened. I didn't know who it was. And I just thought in my head, I'm like, damn, don't tell me it's Pete, man. And I'm like, fuck. I really kind of, like, felt it. I'm like, damn. And he's like, Pete, man, Pete. And he just started crying on the phone, Pete. And he was talking to, I think, Trapzilla or somebody, and they were, like, just destroyed, too, and they were, like, just, like, crying loud, like, yo, you know, it's fucking, it was bad, and I was like, fuck, bro. I was like, Pete died, and I was like, shit, man. He was just in tears, and I'm like, damn. And that was the same night my mom had to go to surgery, so, like, a couple hours later, I had to go to take my mom to, like, go to, like, some surgery.
At the hospital?
Yeah, so it was, like, just all hitting me, like, hard.
Yeah,
because
the hospital's a place that'll make you think about it when, you know,
especially when you're in the waiting room waiting for your mom to, like, you know, go finish surgery.
It starts fucking with your head.
Yeah, and then, you know, I was there in the surgery room, like, damn, Pete passed away. Like, yo, fuck, just crying. You know, I remember that night. My mom got her surgery. Everything went great.
Thank God.
I was like, all right, you know, she was gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go fucking ride out and go see my girl, because my girl's sister was, like, really, really good friends with Pete. Like, you know, they were, like, you know, like, best friends. So I had to tell my girl, and she wasn't answering her phone. I had to tell somebody to go knock on my window where she was sleeping, to wake her ass up. She called me. She said, what the fuck you doing? I'm like, yo, fuck, Pete passed away. She's like, damn. She called her sister right away. Her sister just destroyed her. Like, damn. That shit was just a bad thing. I remember I went, after my mom's surgery, I went to go see my girl, and I just sat in the same couch where, like, little people sitting, and I just started crying. I'm like, fuck.
In those moments, what is it that you take away, like, in that grieving moment?
What I take for granted is life, you know. It's like, fuck. Or, like, health and shit like that, you know. It's like, I just be like, what do I grieve from here? I'm just, you know, it's like, it's fucked up, man. That little homie was gonna be an icon, you know. Like, he just died early, young as fuck. He was gonna be like a prince, you know, bigger type of dude. Like, I saw him, like, as a god. When I saw him perform, like, his new stuff, like, it was funny because it was like, he invited all of us. He invited the whole crew to go see him perform, and it was at the same day as the Dolphins game, and they already had tickets to go to the Dolphins game. And I'm like, I don't want to go to no Dolphins game. I don't give a fuck. Like, we're just gonna lose or some shit. I'm gonna go to see Peep. I'm a fucking huge fan.
Yeah.
And he personally told me like, yo, he invited me and shit, like, come. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna go see Peep.
Yeah.
And it was just me and Nick out of like everybody.
Everybody else went to the Dolphins game.
Everybody else went to the Dolphins game. Then I would see you after the show, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna miss this Peep show.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just me and Nick that went to the Peep show, and that was like the moment, like kind of like just like, you know, stuck with me. And I'm like, yo, on his Miami show, I'm one of the only people that from the crew that really got to like see him, like, and amazing how he became. You know, he transformed.
Yeah.
Like, because he wasn't the same performer as he performed the last time. Like, he was just
Where did that performance go?
It was at the Ground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was one of the first shows at the Ground when that shit opened up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show was amazing, crazy. It was like halfway packed around there, but it was like a lot of young kids, like, girls crying and stuff. Like, you know, people were just fucking like. It was like everybody was looking at him like a god, and that's when I was like, I went inside the crowd because I was watching it from backstage, and I'm like, I can't watch this show from backstage. And I'm like, I went to the crowd, you know, nobody fucking knew who it was. I went to the crowd and I watched the show from the crowd, and I was like, wow, this shit's fucking amazing, dude. Like, watching a fucking god perform, I was like, this guy's crazy.
That's awesome, dog. I'm glad that you got to experience that, man. Not too many people have the chance to say that that they experienced Peep in his glory, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was amazing. And yeah, I remember we worked with X too. Rest in peace, X. He used to come to the studio, say what's up. I remember he used to he did a couple of shows with POUYA across Florida, and I caught a couple of them. Cool dude too.
That's cool, dog. So if people want to reach out to you, dog, where can they reach out to you and try to collab?
My Instagram.
Your IG? What's your IG?
At Gian_Lo. Lo. Gian Lo.
Giancarlo. Gian_Lo.
Yeah, it has no car because I don't have a car.
Oh, okay.
I never want or don't want a car. So it's Gian
Lo.
Yeah, Gian Lo.
At Gian_Lo.
Lo, yeah.
That's what's
no
up, dog.
car.
Yo, I really, really appreciate you, dog. Swinging through, talking to us about your experiences, how you shaping South Florida with your art, visually, which is very, very, very important, dog. It's a way that people are consuming media now with their eyes. So it's awesome that somebody from South Florida has had the opportunity to do that and express South Florida culture beyond Miami, dog.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you, and I commend you for doing that. I really appreciate you coming on and talk to me and talking to Fresh, the Que Bola podcast. Hasta la próxima, man. I appreciate it, yo.
Sure, man.
Thank you, son.
Thanks,
And to all you guys, people listening, if you appreciate what we're doing, go ahead and hit that subscribe, share it, and let a friend know, dog. All right. Well, y'all heard it there, man. That shit was awesome as fuck. I really enjoyed talking to Gian. He's a really cool person. He's really down to earth, humble as fuck, and he's getting shit popping, man. This is the kind of people we need to push to the forefront here in South Florida. I really want to thank my dude Gian for coming on and talking to us and letting us enter his home, and you know, just like the intimate setting. It was really dope. Hasta la próxima. You guys, you already know what it is. It's Darwin from the Que Bola podcast, Fresh in the house. Subscribe, share it with your friends, with your family members, with your enemies, with everybody. Pa toda la gente. This is for everybody, all right? Share that shit como arroz, pavo. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to get some of this. If you guys want to holla at your boy, you already know, on IG, Fresh with a PH, or IG also at Que Bola podcast. Send me an email, WhatsApp, WASSA at fresh with an F and then fresh with a PH.com, fresh.com. All right. I love y'all guys. Thank you for the support. Peace.